Hi, kiddos. It is day 4. It is reading time. I need you to find your Ready Workbook. When you get it, please turn to page 142. I am going to read to you the story from Sir Ivan. It's by Maud L. Radford, King Arthur and His Knights. As I'm reading, please follow along. This is a legend, and we're going to use what we've learned to determine the theme of the story. So, as you're listening, I want you to look closely at the details in the text that tell about the main character and his problem, how he solves the problem, and what he learns as a result. These details will help you determine the theme. Among Arthur's knights of the Round Table was one who was a mixture of good and bad, as indeed most people are. His name was Sir Ivan, brave, kind-hearted, and merry, but at the same time fickle, sometimes forgetful of his promises, and inclined to make light of serious things. One night in the early spring, the knights and ladies of Arthur's court were sitting in the dining hall. Sir Ivan was telling of his experience with the Black Knight. "It was when I was very young," he said. "Indeed, I had just been made a knight. Someone told me of the wicked Black Knight who lived, and still lives, in a wood a long way from here. Knowing that he did much evil, I determined to kill him. I rode to the wood where he lived, and in which I found a marble platform. In the middle of it was a sunken space holding a fountain. I walked to this, and following the directions of some writing which was on the stone, picked up a cup that lay at hand, and filling it with water, poured it into the fountain. Then a great storm of wind and rain arose, and when it was at its height, the Black Knight rode up and began to attack me. We fought for a little while, but he easily overthrew me. Thinking me dead, he rode back, leaving me on the ground. But after a time, I was able to mount my horse and went back to my mother's castle." At this moment, the king and the queen entered, unperceived by anyone except Sir Ivan. The young man, who was always polite, sprang to his feet. Then the other knights rose. Sir Kay, who was not always sweet-tempered, said to Sir Ivan, "We all know that you are very polite, but you have more courtesy than bravery." At that, Sir Ivan said, "I was almost a boy when the Black Knight overthrew me, but I could conquer him now." "It is very easy to say that after you have eaten," said Sir Kay. "Almost any knight feels brave and self-satisfied when he has had a good supper of venison." The king asked what the conversation was about, and Sir Ivan repeated the story of his adventure, adding, "And, Sir King, I crave your permission to set forth tomorrow to slay this Black Knight who is a pest in the land." "I have heard of this man," said the king, "and have often thought of sending someone to punish him. But he lives far away, and it has been necessary heretofore to right first the wrongs nearest home. Yet now his evil deeds and persecutions must cease. Tomorrow a company of us will set forth and conquer him and all his people. The king named some half-dozen of his knights, Sir Ivan among them, who were to undertake this adventure. Sir Ivan was displeased. He thought that the adventure should be his alone. So he rose in the middle of the night and stole away unattended, determined to go in advance of the others and kill the Black Knight. It did not occur to him that in proving himself brave, he was also proving himself disobedient. Next page. He rode forth in the darkness, humming merrily to himself. After many days of travel, Sir Ivan reached the forest, in the midst of which was the castle of the Black Knight. He rode to the platform of stone, and the Black Knight appeared. He recognized the armor of Sir Ivan and said, "Ha ha! I see I did not kill you before, but you shall not escape me this time." Excuse me. "The best man shall win," said Sir Ivan cheerfully. Then the two began a great combat. They fought so eagerly that they were not even aware of the storm. It was not long before the Black Knight began to grow weak from the many powerful and death-dealing strokes from Sir Ivan's sword. At last, seeing that he was mortally wounded, the Black Knight turned his horse. He galloped in the direction of his castle. Sir Ivan followed, but he could not quite catch up with the Black Knight, although gaining on him inch by inch. By the time the castle moat was reached, Sir Ivan was only 5 feet behind. The horses thundered one after the other over the bridge. The Black Knight rode under the portcullis, or sharp iron gate, which was raised. The instant he was inside, the portcullis fell in order to shut out Sir Ivan. But Sir Ivan had already passed beneath it. He sprang to his feet and drew his sword to renew his attack upon the Black Knight, but he was already dead. Then Sir Ivan realized what his recklessness had cost him. There he was, alone in a strange castle, the lord of which he had killed. Soon the people of the castle would come and capture him, for he could not escape since the portcullis was down. So, what I want you to do is on page 145, answer questions 1 and 2. Please turn to page 146. I want you to answer 3, 4, and 5. Remember, look back in the story. When you come back to school, that Friday, we will talk over the story. We'll go over the answers to these questions, and then we will do number 6 together. There's a certain way I want you to answer this question. So all you have to do are questions 1 through 5.